In the last 2 months, my net worth has grown $60,000 and I did nothing. Today, I want to show you an update of my net worth as someone who is chasing financial freedom, financial independence, and I want to show you that you don't have to do all these crazy things to try and get your net worth or your investments up. You can just let your money work for you. We update our net worth every single month, and this is one of our most anticipated days. We always look forward to the end of the month to update our numbers. We like this because it allows us to get a better grasp of our money, our assets, how things are going, and just chat about how we are in relation to our goals. And for us, it just makes us feel a lot better that we have control over our money. I know it's not quite the end of the month, but I did hear that the stock market was crushing it lately, and I just couldn't help myself. I had to do a mid-month money network update from the last net worth video update that I did about 2.5 months ago. And to my surprise, my net worth grew to $745,000, which is $60,000 more than my last network update video 2 or so months ago. This is so wild to me because $60,000 is the average annual income for someone here living in Canada. And my net worth grew that amount in just 2.5 months. So I'm gonna walk you through an update of my net worth, starting with my assets. We're gonna look at my real estate equity, stock market portfolio, cash, pretty much the fun stuff. And then we're gonna look at my liabilities, the not so fun stuff like my mortgages, my business loan, my car loan, and how all of that comes together to build my final total net worth. So starting with my TFSA, aka my tax-free savings account. This is a tax advantaged account where any funds that you put into this account and that you invest with are after tax dollars, which means any growth in this account is tax-free. So in 5, 10, 30 years from now, once you go to take out the funds in your TFSA, you won't get taxed on them. So it's a really powerful account to be investing in. And right now, that's my main account that I'm actively contributing to every single month, every single year, trying to max it out year after year. My current TFSA balance is $138,000. Now going on to my RRSPs, this is a tax deferred account. So whenever you contribute to this account, you get to reduce your current taxable income. So you will likely get a tax refund at the end of the year when you file your taxes. However, when you do take your funds out from this account, when you do go to retire or whenever that will be, you will get taxed. The theory behind this is that you're taking this money out once you're retired, which means you're likely gonna have a lower income, AKA you'll have a lower tax bracket, and that you'll be paying less taxes once you do take that money out. So that's kind of the whole theory behind the RRSP. And currently my RRSP is $28,000. It's not really much of a focus for me right now. Because I am self-employed, I do get to kind of control how much I pay myself, how much I want to pay in taxes in a way, and I'm just keeping my RRSP contribution room open as a strategy possibly later down the road. But for now, I just want to maximize my TFSA, and then anything additional, I'll probably just keep that in my business and invest in that. Next up, we have crypto. I invest in Ethereum, and right now that is at about $46,000. Crypto is very, very, very volatile. Your ups are gonna be really up and your downs are gonna be really down. For us, we're just kind of playing around with it. We put money into it. We wanna learn. We do feel good and confident about Ethereum in general with future use cases and what we're reading in the crypto and personal finance space. So we are in crypto right now. Now we have my business brokerage account. So I invest excess funds that I don't necessarily need in my business. I keep the money in my business instead of paying it out to me on the personal side. We pretty much invest in the exact same things on the business side that we do on the personal side. Right now, it's kind of just like a tax strategy. And that account is at $164,000. It's catching up to the personal side, which I'm pretty happy for. I think right now that's where I have more ability to continue to invest my money, because on the tax deferred side, or my tax deferred accounts, that is where you have maximum contribution rooms. So eventually I'm going to keep capping it every single year. And if I want to invest more, I can't really do that in those accounts. So to me, I just invest the extra funds if I want to in my business brokerage accounts, bringing the grand total to my stocks and crypto accounts to $377,000. The next big asset class I have in my portfolio is going to be my real estate. So Mal and I own 3 properties together, and we own them right down the middle at 50-50. So I'll show you what the total amounts are, and then my portion will be half of that. So we'll just divide that final number by 2. So we have 3 properties. Property number 1 is worth about $665,000. Property number 2 is worth about $885,000. And property number 3 is worth around $575,000. This brings our total real estate values to $2,125,000. And because Mal and I own both properties 50-50, we have to divide the value of all 3 properties in half, bringing my portion to $1,062,000. Next, we have cash. So this is a mix of quite a few things. I have cash accounts for my personal day-to-day spending. I have a cash account for my travel that I'm saving for every single year. I have a cash account for our joint account. So Mal and I obviously have a ton of joint expenses. It could be living expenses. It could be paying off our mortgages. So we have cash in that account, which I divide by 2 because the funds for there are joined between both of us. So I'll only consider half of that part of my net worth. And we also have business cash. And in total, all of my cash accounts equate to about $39,000. And the last asset class we have to consider is my car. My car is worth around $41,000 is what I could probably sell it for today. That brings my total assets to a value of $1,481,000. Now moving into our liabilities. So this is everything I owe. That could be a loan, a mortgage. Those are the 2 main things, my loans and my mortgages. So we're gonna start with the biggest one, which is the mortgages we have on our 3 properties. All 3 properties are mortgaged, and the first property, we have about $459,000 left in that mortgage. For the second property, we have about $555,000 remaining. And for the third property, we owe about $416,000, bringing the total mortgages that we owe and that we have to pay every single month up to $715,000. No, that is wrong. That is my half. The total of all the mortgages is actually $1.4 million. And when you divide that by 2, it equals to $715,000, which is my half, the portion that I'm, I guess, responsible for. Next, we have my loans. So I have 2 loans outstanding right now, and that would be my car loan, which sits around $40,000. That's kind of what I owe on my car right now. And my business loan. I have about $15,000 left in my business loan for a total of $55,000 that I owe in loans. And lastly, we have credit cards. So credit card debt is the last debt line that I have, and that's mainly just on the business side. On the personal side, I've already paid off all my credit cards, so they are sitting at zero. But on my business, because I haven't reached my statement due date yet, the account at the time is about $4,000 that I owe to that card. That brings my total liabilities to $734,000. So now that we looked at my assets and liabilities, when you subtract your assets from your liabilities, you get your net worth. And in this case, my net worth is $1,481,000 minus $734,000 equals $746,000 net worth right now. That is so cool. I'm close to the 750 milestone marker, but to be honest, I think at this point, it'd be cool to hit 800, and I'm looking forward to when I hit 800, but I could just feel that I'm so close to that $1 million net worth, that millionaire status, I guess you could say. I don't know if you've seen it, but I saw this graph and it was really cool because it relates to compounding interest. And essentially, it breaks down how every 100,000 that you grow in your net worth isn't the same in terms of time it takes to get there. So let's just say your first 100,000 takes you 10 years. Your next 100,000 might only take 8 years. Then the next 100,000 might take 6 years, 5 years, 4 years. So as you get closer to the million, as your money compounds, it'll take less time to get to the next $100,000, which means to me, yes, I'm really close to the 800,000 mark, but I feel like I'm like a rock throw away from $1 million, which is really cool and exciting at this point in my personal finance journey. Comparing this to the last net worth update video I did about 2.5 months ago, my net worth is up $60,000, and I'm gonna break down a few things that helped make that happen, because I think it's really interesting when I try to figure out what all led up to that growth of $60,000. So the first two things are things within my control, essentially. And the first one would be I have to pay my mortgage every single month. So I paid my mortgages for 2 straight months. And essentially, every single month that I pay my mortgages, my net worth goes up 1.5 or $1,500. So that's $3,000 net worth increase right then and there just from paying down my mortgages. The next thing that I had control in was my contributions. So I had a good month and I decided to contribute $6,000 into my business investment account. That is something I decided to do, and I just bumped my business portfolio up by $6,000. Now, there are a few things that was out of my control, and I think this is the main bulk of the growth in my portfolio in the last 2 or so months. The first thing is that the stock market is up 10% since 2 months ago. So 10% of even $100,000 is $10,000. So I had about 300 and something thousand dollars at the time. So if it went up 10%, I gained about 30K just from that increase. We had a comparable sale of a listing within one of our properties that helped bring the value up a little bit. And crypto blew up. It's having a moment right now, and my crypto account is up 30% just in this month alone, and is up almost 80% since my last net worth update video about 2 months ago. So all these things combined helped grow my net worth by $60,000 in 2 months. I'm well aware that things don't just keep going up forever. There's gonna be some downs. And right now, I'm just happy where my net worth and my assets are sitting. I'm aware that it could go down tomorrow, next month, in 3 months. But right now, I'm just reflecting on where I currently am, how that is gonna shape the future, and I'm just gonna go with it. I'm just gonna just see where the market takes me. But at the end of the day, I am investing for the long term, and so the day-to-day, month-to-month, year-to-year even fluctuations shouldn't affect me too much because I have my eyes set on the long term, which is $1 million net worth, and eventually to be free, to be financially free, to retire early, to do whatever I want, whenever I want, wherever I want, right? So that's the ultimate goal. I do know, I am aware that this will likely go down at some point. So yeah, I'm just enjoying it right now. So if you like this video, let me know. I love everything about the numbers and running through things, and I'm gonna do this either way. But if you're really enjoying it, I will keep up my net worth update videos, maybe monthly, maybe every 2 months, but let me know in the comments below.